What's New Wednesday? Welcome back for another episode of What's New Wednesday. We are in an interim week. Leaderboard 3 has ended and they've got an audit that they're working on. Token Price has been doing all sorts of stuff. And then there's some other announcements about leaderboards we'll get into. So Token Price, an announcement about the leaderboards, and a little bit of there's an event that they have going on this week. Not a whole lot to cover this week. But first things first is we talk about the token price. It's what we do here. So token price. Last week we talked about how wrong I was when I thought that we would see the token price sort of rebound from 45 cents around here and go up. Instead, it continued to go down. But I was talking about how, you know, we've seen, it seems like we might be breaking out of a trend here. A bit of a trend reversal once we hit 32 cents. Seems like we've changed direction. Last week I mentioned we might crab a little while. And if we can see it go over 40 cents and reclaim 40 cents, we might see it go upwards. We've seen it bounce off of 40 cents yesterday, but no luck. Looks like now we're trying to turn 36 cents into a support range. Sort of broke through and turned that resistance that we were bouncing off of 36 cents from last Wednesday into support. It maybe, you know, we don't know for sure. Hard to say. We kind of expected to crab. We were hoping to see it reclaim 40 cents, and if that happened, we might see it move upwards. No luck there yet. If you look at the 4-hour MACD and RSI, both look like they're kind of trending in the bottom of their areas here. MACD is going into the red, and RSI 4-hour down. So 1 hour, 4 hour, yeah, they look pretty good. If you look at the daily, right, we've got a really big sort of downtrend that happened starting from a couple Wednesdays ago. Moved into the red. We're trying to move into the green here, but we don't have enough momentum to break across to really see some bullish movement. So still at the bottom of this range here. As far as the daily RSI goes, right, last Wednesday it was great. It was a great entry point, but like I said, we didn't expect a whole lot. We kind of expected a crab, and if it reached over 40 cents, you can see it tried here with this daily RSI. Now it's moving back down. It'll probably take a little bit to decide what it wants to do. Looks like we have a few more days of crabbish or bearish sort of behavior before we might see any kind of real uptrend. Once again, I still feel like once we can reclaim 40 cents range here and turn this into support right here, if we start trending up like this, you know, we might see it break above 42 cents, 44 cents, and then up there from there we might see it go higher. So who knows, remains to be seen. We might end up back down towards 32 cents. Seems like a really strong support, so I'm not sure if we're gonna break below 32 cents anytime soon, but this somewhat support that is kind of building around 36 cents is pretty weak, so we'll see if it manages to maintain its momentum upwards. Hard to say, guys, hard to say. Okay, so next we have some Discord announcements to go through. Not that much as expected. Leaderboard's over, so you know we have some news about the leaderboard, so we got to take a look at that. Okay, so big time Leaderboard 3 ended after the 23rd, 24th, depending on where you live. The final crafting event for the Egyptian craft, the legendary craft, did finally happen with its 5x leaderboard points. I crafted 3 epics and 3 legendaries. It was a gong show, guys. This Egyptian craft was not executed the best, let's put it that way, and people were freaking out because they released the epics, but then no one could craft the epics because you had to have 2 of the item instead of 1 of the item, even though it said you only needed 1 of the item to be able to craft it. So then they like did this like last minute quick patch where you could do either. You could craft with the item or you could craft without the item and pay more big time and augmented. So people were just doing that. But then for a brief moment of time, for about like 10 minutes, the day that the Egyptian craft came out, which would have been the 22nd, yeah, there was a brief moment of time when you could craft a legendary, and so some people crafted the legendary. I managed to craft 1 legendary before I got shut down, but I was freaking out, guys, because I didn't really want to craft the epics. I thought that because the epic required a rare weapon to craft, then if I didn't have an epic one and then the legendary one required an epic to craft, that would be crazy. So I crafted an epic one, and then I crafted another epic one, and then I crafted a third one by mistake because I was trying to craft a legendary one during the period. Oh man, it was just such a mess, guys. It was such a mess. And long story short is that I crafted 3 epic swords and 3 legendary swords by the end of the day. I threw money at this. Like, I just threw thousands of dollars at it because I wanted to try and get in the top 100. And I thought that if I A, got my 5 legendary crafts in, and then B, was able to craft as many as I could, then I would get into the top of the leaderboard, into the top 100. I didn't make enough leaderboard points even still. I threw a few $1,000s at it and I gained about 300,000 leaderboard points, but that was not enough. I needed to have gained probably about 600. So anyways, that's a little bit of news about how the final end of the last leaderboard went. It was a shit show. It did not go well. It was really poorly executed, and the poor execution caused a lot of people to panic, including myself, thinking that they were doing back-to-back crafting the epic and the legendary all in one day, whereas the legendary wasn't supposed to have been craftable that day. So bad things happened, but it's over and we can move on from that. The gist is that Leaderboard 3 ended in a very hectic way, and people who were trying to get this Egyptian craft in are probably all a little bitter, at least maybe a little bitter. So that's that. Then they made an announcement. So this announcement has plenty of clues. They talked about how they're doing an audit, make sure everything is good, copacetic. That's great. Upon the completion of the audit, we will publish the final audited results along with... Okay, so this is some clues they said. Reward timeline for round 3 was mentioned as something that they're going to announce information about. Does that mean that the reward timeline for round 3 is going to be different than rounds 1 and 2? I have no idea, but it's weird that they would mention it in my opinion. So no, not really sure what's going on there. And then they also said they're going to release the official start date for round 4. We weren't sure if we were going to see another leaderboard, let alone round 4. Round 4 is coming, so that's kind of cool. Are you guys going to be participating in round 4? Maybe you guys are burnt out. Maybe you're not. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows what to expect? What's going on with round 4? So more details required there. And then they said they're going to be releasing details of any modifications and balance changes for round 4. So what can we expect to see moving into this next leaderboard? What kind of changes? How different is it going to be? And like, are they going to be game changing? Are we going to be playing, like, are the leaderboards going to be similar or dissimilar? We'll have to see. So, okay, that's it for that. That's the main announcement of the week. Then they've released today that they're doing a big time clips showdown. Everyone can submit clips, up to 3 clips between now and April 1st. And they have to respect community guidelines, so I think it just comes around to like, don't be a dick. And there's 3 winners. There's first place winner, they get 10 lucky draw mystery boxes. There's second place winner, they get 6 lucky draws, and third place winner, they get 3. I've got a couple clips kicking about. Might as well just toss them in there, but I mean, it is what it is. That's everything for What's New Wednesday this week, guys. Really short, really simple week. Hopefully Leaderboard 4 is even more entertaining than Leaderboard 3 was, and hopefully we have some more details to talk about next week regarding all that stuff. So until the next time, make sure you guys throw down a follow, hit a like, throw in a comment. Let me know if you're excited about Leaderboard 4, how your crafting event was for the Egypt craft, all those sorts of details. Share it. Make sure you tell your moms about it, and I will see you guys next week.